Welcome to Movie Bitches, RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12, Episode 3. So, obviously, we are not together. I mean, maybe it's not.
How obvious it is, Andrew. It's not that obvious.
But because of quarantine, we are not together, but we wanted to still try and film and put out episodes so that we didn't go crazy with boredom and insanity. So here we are. We're going to try and make it work. Hopefully it does, and we'll see how it goes.
I'm loving it.
Loving it. So first things first, shout out to our wines. Oh, wait, hold on. Shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Go to trywink.com/moviebitches to get $22 off your first month of wine.
I'm trying not to. $22.
Not RuPaul's Drag Race UK anymore, Avaryl.
Well, no, because when I tried to do it up here, it disappeared.
Oh, you don't have any there's no two fingers?
I can't.
Oh my god. Ooh. I might just do this for the rest of the episode.
Do what?
The disappearing wine trick.
Cheers.
Cheers, my lady. So, RuPaul's Drag Race, Episode 3, World's Worst.
Yes.
In many different ways. World's Worst lip sync. No, it wasn't that bad.
The worst.
Do something, Charlie.
I'm not a lip sync performer.
Anyway, this episode was fun. It was fine.
I was going to say that it was fine.
It was fine.
Fine.
Oh, tits is fine. Isn't it, Father?
Oh, yes. Tits. Tits is fine.
Fine.
All of the queens are back together, and we get the showdown of the century that's 5 seconds long.
Oh, look at this, miss.
Oh, hey, girl.
Yay! New York!
Oh my god, New York queens. There's 5 New York queens.
5 New York girls! 5 New York girls!
New York, New York. We are New York.
We are New York.
Want to talk about some of these looks
Mm-hmm.
that they had to waste.
Wasted. I thought Slayana all day, Heidi Ho looked great.
This like Roman helmet wig. I really liked it a lot.
I really loved her look. I thought Nikki looked good.
Oh my god, Nikki's new wig. Oh.
Yeah.
And Gigi's like Betty Page wig. Oh.
Yes.
Oh. And Crystal's Frida Kahlo. Oh.
Yes. Wasted.
I mean, I enjoyed them, but yes, it was a waste.
Well, absolutely. But still, like, you know, it wasn't on the runway. You know, they didn't get to, Michelle didn't get to see a different type of makeup for Crystal. And not that it was different, but like.
It was different.
I mean, it will get there because I still think that it's nonsense.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, yes, of course, they're all pretending to have all these rivalries and whatever. And then first week group is like, so what's the drama? Why are you guys all hating each other? Blah, blah, blah. We're not going to air our dirty laundry, blah, blah, blah. And it was like kind of for naught, but it was fine.
It was whatever. I was like, this is all nonsense and it doesn't really matter. I think the big thing, which was really stupid to me or disappointing or whatever, was that it was all like this, okay, well, we need you all to share who was in the top 2 so that tomorrow for the mini challenge, when Ru is like, who's in the top and who's in the bottom of these people that you just met yesterday,
right?
You can decide who you're going to put in the top and bottom. And I was like, first of all, we saw that this didn't work fucking last season in UK. Why are we doing this?
Again, we get a mini challenge where nobody wins anything.
Also, it's not a challenge.
I mean, there's no challenge. And also, I guess by being losers, they won being group leaders.
Right. It was almost like you were underestimated. So here you go. I don't know. I don't care for this, and I hope they never do it again.
Yeah, I was so excited that the pit crew came out, and I was like, yes. And then it was like,
there was like pit crew tops and bottoms. It's like, oh, what are we gonna do with this? Oh, it's the same stupid thing.
Oh, but to completely change the subject, I will say that I am loving Nikki's confessionals.
We just met the bitches and they're already starting to complain, but you're supposed to show your strongest assets and they kind of like crackle in front of us and we're just like eating popcorns like, spill the tea, bitch, tell us.
Oh, absolutely. She's great. I love her.
I really, really, really like her. She has to come out of the shell a bit.
You're not sure she has to really earn the love title?
Yeah. I mean, love her looks, you know, think she's great. Hope she gets out of her funk shell of like, oh, I am my language barrier, blah, 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 blah. Like they said in this episode, do what Charo does. Just break out into French. I love it.
Exactly. Oh my God. Fucking Charo. We'll get there.
Charo, America's Next Drag Superstar.
Absolutely. She's America's original drag superstar.
It's like a spooning.
Yes, spooning, yes.
Be careful. A spooning leads to forking.
The mini challenge, since Widow and Jada both won their episodes, they are the top two, and they get to pick from everybody of their opposite group that they just met, which order they think that their competition is in, basically. So they put Aiden in the bottom, and Heidi, I mean, come on, talk about underestimating. I love that when Rue was like, so Heidi, how do you feel about this? Oh, fuck all them bitches.
Those bitches.
Fuck all them bitches.
I loved it. I love her. She's great.
I love her.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
She's so fabulous and fun.
Yes, she is. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Oh my God.
Oh God, you're birthing a pillow. I mean, obviously Nikki's looks are like more elevated than Heidi's, and like, you know, she's more polished or whatever, but no, I'm loving Heidi.
Absolutely. But yes, so the four of them become team captains, and improv, I don't know if that shows through, but I'm air quoting it.
Improv.
Yeah, there, improv. These different, you know, American Idol-esque like audition.
I guess it was weird because it looked like American Idol, you know, faux imagery, but it seemed more like America's Got Talent because it was like random stuff, not just
singing. Was random stuff. It wasn't singing.
So they have to do the world's worst improv, which it was. It was fine.
But also this was so stupid to me where they kept calling it improv and yet they were scripted.
Well,
there were scripts of like nearly everything.
They were, prompted.
Heavily prompted. It was like, okay, this is your group. This is who you have, each character, what they're doing, what's going on, everything about it.
I guess they think that they fooled us, that that's what we were supposed to think they did.
Sure. It just, this episode, and maybe these past few seasons of Drag Race in particular, have felt so obviously overproduced. Like, it's just so transparent.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys, why are you trying so hard? Like,
honestly, they're all funny, talented people. Just put a camera in front of them.
I think it's in part because they want, like, Ross to be able to have these stupid, idiotic lines that he tosses in there. Well, I want to hear a joke. I'm ready for a stinker. Let's pull out the poo-pourri.
Oh, don't even get me. I'm so mad about that.
So mad.
I smell a real big stinker coming on. Spray a little poopery.
It wasn't even like Diet Peach Snapple. You know, it wasn't even, let's make a stupid joke about this. It was just like, wait, was that a ad promotion? I guess it was.
I guess it was confusing.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they definitely gave Ross, obviously, lines that had been written that then they gave the queens to give so they could prepare responses.
Right. It was like, I need to, like, these are things that Ross will say.
Yes.
And either you can tee him up with it or he'll just awkwardly throw out a poopery ad.
Or
but either way, you have to react. And I'm like, I guess that is improv, but it's not
He'll say his own punchline.
Yeah, right.
But anyway.
And Charo will just be fabulous.
And then Charo, you can't script Charo.
No.
There was a guy from Mississippi.
So yes, once they have the 4 team captains, then they all have to pick their groups. And I was so confused as to why Rockham got picked last.
I know, right?
Over Dahlia, who's obviously going to be boring. Like, I just didn't understand some of this.
I was like, why would you not pick the energetic, camp, fun queen for an improv challenge? It seemed crazy to me.
But Rockham's all sad and then seems to get over it, I guess. Even though she wanted to be that apple. Oh my God.
Oh, she should have been Black China.
This is the story of how I should have been Black China.
I did love when Rockham's like, oh, I think I want to be the bad apple.
But it's up to you. Okay, I'll take the bad apple role.
And Jada is just like, Okay, so I'm gonna be the bad apple.
Yeah, so that's not happening, but great.
Thanks for your input. I'm the team leader. No thanks. Okay, bye. So they break off into their teams and get their prompts, their scripts, their prompts. So the first team is Sherry, Aiden, and Britta. And
Right.
I was like, oh no, Aiden, you're absolutely gonna get swallowed up by these two giant personalities.
I kind of thought, and yet I didn't think that she did.
I thought she gave a lot of face.
Yes.
And yes, she was kind of like taking their lead, but like, what are you supposed to do? They're them, you know what I mean?
Well, I guess. And then I think the thing that was frustrating for me for Aiden was just that it was her idea to do the like, and we're talking about the same thing.
Well, wasn't that the prompt?
I thought the prompt was just that they all had the same thoughts. And she was like, wouldn't it be funny if...
Like, Sherry starts to say something, and then I'm like,
and
kind of trying to follow along, you know what I mean?
There are 3 girls, 1 brain, and
Right.
basically they do Garth and Kat.
But you forgot one word, 2 words, 1 word. Energetic.
But not great.
It was fine. Sometimes it was better than others.
3 is too many, perhaps.
I think so. It's like to try and get all of that to work.
I guess, did they write the backstory of like, and then we got hit by lightning and then, like, I don't know.
I guess so. And then they're like, oh, and then we did our makeup that way because that's a fun, silly thing.
Sure.
Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan.
So then next was Jada, Rockham, Jan, and Dahlia as the Tutti Fruities.
Nope. Fruity Patooties.
As the Fruity Patooties. Should I do that over again?
Tutti Fruities is cuter.
Well, yeah, the lady with the Tutti Frutti hat.
Yeah, hello, obviously. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
This prompt I felt was fundamentally flawed.
Fundamentally flawed. And also, I thought that the writing, particularly for Ross, was borderline offensive.
It was just, boo.
It felt like something from Will and Grace from 1998. You know, you're not gay because you know sports.
Yeah, I was so like, what?
I don't know sports, but there are gays that do.
Yeah,
It's like the weird thing of being like, oh, you're faking gay so that you can get ahead.
We'll get to their performance because I was confused. But I did want to bring up, I thought it would have been a better joke. Instead of broccoli, Dahlia was a tomato because tomatoes are actually fruits, but they're always getting confused for vegetables.
Sure.
Right?
And like they're rotten. They're like we are on Rotten Tomatoes.
We are on Rotten Tomatoes. And the next group is Heidi and Jackie and Gigi, and they're the Rio Trio. And they're octogenarian triplet singers. And I mean, obviously Jackie has experience with improv.
Do you remember what the first rule of improv is?
Always say
yes and.
yes and. Never say
so
no
that
to
means
anything.
we'll never shut each other down.
Yes and.
You don't say that.
Yes. And. No, you don't actually say yes and.
That's so good.
We can get to it later, but I do think that they were like the best team.
Absolutely. I thought they were the funniest and the best team.
But yeah, so Jackie takes charge because she's done all this stuff. But then Heidi, I mean, in another watching the wall drive moment, I really loved it. It's right. This is going to be right up my avenue.
So I feel like this is going to be right up my avenue. Bitch, I live on an avenue. Why can't I say the word?
I live on an avenue. I can't even say it. What's going on? It's so cute.
But also, I always said right up my alley.
That is the term, yes.
Okay, great. I love her.
Love her. So then last was Crystal and Widow and Nikki as the Squirrel Scouts. And I was like, okay, so when are they making Get the Nuts Away from My... Oh, they made it. Great.
Oh, I was like, where are the Beverly Hills jokes?
Sure. Love that.
Make it big.
Boop, boop, boop. It's
Make
cookie
it
time. It's cookie time.
Cookie time. Oh my God, if they had found a way to, I mean, God, it would have been so niche. It basically would have been a joke for us. But if they had found a way for Widow to be, you know, because she was the drunk one, like doing too much or whatever, and have one of them just be like, will you stop?
Emily, stop! Will you stop?
It's good. Love it.
I would have enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah. So quick commercial break, and we will be back with more green screen.
So Ru comes into the workroom to talk to all the groups, and
hello.
And hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Hi.
Hello.
That's what it is. Hello.
Yes, so Ru comes into the workroom to talk to all the groups, and I just want to talk about Crystal's El DeBarge mullet.
Oh my God, yes.
I don't know who that is. No.
He was in the group DeBarge, and they sang a song. The rhythm of the night.
Feel the rhythm of the night. So then she goes over to the Rio Trio group, and I love that she just fundamentally broke down why Heidi's name is terrible.
I can technically tell you why. Because Heidi, then you have to reshape your mouth to say N, and then closet. It's not very satisfying.
We're going to talk about your name, and I'm going to explain to you why it sucks.
Like Professor Henry Higgins over here. So then you go from the hi to the N, and your mouth doesn't want to do that. Are you getting some more wine? I can't see anything. It's like a ghost. Oh! Patrick Swayze.
Wine.
This is terrifying. So then Ru is talking about basically changing her name, but instead of giving her Slayana all day, she keeps talking about Heidi Ho.
Right? I was like, what the fuck? No one has to keep Heidi. It can be something entirely different. Like Slayana all day that Nicki Minaj named her.
Yes. Or Yodel He Who. How many yodel things were going on? What is happening?
What is happening?
Yodel He Ho.
What is going on?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Look at your life, look at your choices. How are we Nostradamus? Days Anatomy, everything. It's weird.
We're really predicting the future. It's very bizarre.
Yeah. Can we predict a better world for us all?
Oh yeah, let's manifest that.
Okay.
Ru was talking about have any of you improv? Jackie's like, I got this, no problem. And
yes,
I love that Heidi is like,
have any of you done improv before?
She's improv in the bedroom before.
Oh my God.
She's improv in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, exactly. I love it. Oh my God. She's just so fun. And I love that it's showing through in the workroom as well, because Ru pays attention to that shit.
So then we get to this whole apples orange. I want to be the orange. I don't want to be the orange. I want to be the apple.
Child, I'm not gonna be this damn orange. No.
And I was just really genuinely surprised that no one made a girl, look how orange you look, girl joke.
Girl, look how orange you fucking look, girl.
What a missed opportunity.
I'm not joking, bitch.
Right?
Yeah.
I was genuinely okay, when are they gonna, oh no. I mean, she could have painted herself really orange or...
Sure.
Once again, this prompt was fundamentally flawed. We'll talk about it.
Fundamentally flawed.
Then we get our first performance for the world's worst, and Carson is basically our Ryan Seacrest. And he was fine.
He was fine. I mean, he was less annoying than Ross. So there was that.
Shut up, Ross. Sorry, it was just a reflex. Now, if they had just replaced him with Sally Jesse Raphael, because he had the glasses on, the bossy glasses. You know who Sally Jesse Raphael is? From the 90s, the TV show? She had her own, it was like Ricky Lake, Sally Jesse Raphael. What is happening, Andrew?
Sorry.
What?
I don't know.
That's why he's wearing those red glasses. He's being Sally Jesse Raphael.
Got you. Why wasn't he Paula Abdul?
She didn't have a 90s talk show where she...
No, she was on American Idol.
Oh, yeah, fully.
On Lithium.
You are so great. Everything you do is magic. You are the sun shining, and you're great. But I did love that we got an Ornacia cameo.
Oh, I know. So silly and weird and random.
I was obsessed with this, but I was kind of bummed that they didn't find a way for her to not be able to unzip herself. You know what I mean? And then to have finally get it, and then there's Bianca Del Rio's face or something like.
I would like that. That'd be fun.
Yes. Yes, mama.
Come on.
Pull it down, baby.
Let us see.
They finally unzip it and it's like Andre Leontali or something.
Yes.
Basically, I just would like him to show up places.
I mean, absolutely. But even if it was Mayhem Miller as not Andre Leontali, again, I'd be on board.
He just keeps showing up.
Right? Love it.
Love it.
It was like when fucking Stacey Matthews just kept showing up.
I love it.
So, quick commercial break, and we will be back with the performances of World's Worst and Charo.
World's Worst with Charo.
I love that. So first up was the Del Rio Trio, and I do really think that this was the best one.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were all pretty whatever, but this was certainly the best.
They were all pretty whatever, but this one, I don't know, I was laughing at just like the fact that Gigi literally did nothing. She said nothing. She didn't do nothing, but she said nothing for the first 78% of the skit, but she was killing it.
I was worried because I was like, oh no, they've weakened at Bernie's turn. I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. And then I thought they pulled it off in the end.
They pulled it off. It wasn't like, oh, amazing, but they pulled it off.
Maybe she should have died once they had already gotten in the room or something. She died when they were interviewing with Carson.
Oh.
And then they carried her in.
Yeah, it would have been better if she died while auditioning.
Right? So they're like singing and they're like, I'm up here and I'm down here and she's not singing. You know, and it's like,
and then it was like, oh, I'm gonna ventriloquy her.
And then it's like they have to like on the fly be like, and that was kind of what they were doing. But I think to have that her die like in the middle of the audition could have been funnier.
I think that would have been funnier. I agree.
But Jackie was obviously well informed. Like she's doing all the things that we genuinely asked for, but somehow I wasn't laughing. It wasn't that she was bad at all. It was just sort of like I wasn't surprised by anything she did, let's say.
No, exactly. It was all kind of just like, well, that's the logical, yes, that's what you should do.
Heidi really, for me, stole the whole show just with her tambourine and her flipper, her spit taking her flipper. And then when Charo came in to teach them the coochie, that was really fun.
I love that.
It reminded me of, what was it? Was it season 1 that Charo was on? And she was like, you've got to have that bad bitch attitude.
Uno, dos. I am the biggest bitch in the world.
I own the whole room and I'm a bad bitch.
That's what I thought of too. I fucking love Charo. She's great.
She's fucking fabulous. Yeah. She stole every part of this entire sketch. It's a hard, like, some of the sketches themselves, like we've said, fundamentally flawed, but also like the conceit of we're gonna have you participate in the worst talent show, and the worse you are, the better you are, but then also we're doing bad improv, which is bad, and so is the badness of this what you're looking for? I'm confused.
Right, I'm confused. Exactly. Is the goal to be terrible? If Charo had not been there, it would have been really terrible.
But I did love so Gigi finally, I don't know, is brought back to life?
Yes.
By
the power of... But
did they write in this Weekend at Bernie's plot, or was that given to them?
I think it was given to them.
Okay.
And like I think the only improv was like basically, what words do you say?
Sure.
Given this character and A, B, C, and D have to happen.
And here are 4 jokes that Ross will say.
Exactly.
And Charo, we don't know.
We don't know. That's the real improv.
That's the real improv. But I did love when Gigi finally is revived. And she's like, where am I? Get in this room. She sounded like Harry Dean Stanton or something. I was like, what's going on?
And for the first time, he wished he were far away.
And then she has to drag them off.
Right. Oh, right. Because they all die, or they all pass out.
You know, it was the best of, but I was still like, I'm all right.
So the next was the Squirrel Scouts, and I didn't really get this one.
I didn't understand what their talent was. Were they?
They were selling peanut butter?
That they were.
It was like Shark Tank? I don't know.
They were selling nut butter, and that was their skill, but why is that the worst?
Because it's a bad Shark Tank idea? I don't know.
I didn't understand the motivation behind this one. Of like, oh, and we're 3 Squirrel Scouts and we were abandoned and we've been living in the woods, I guess. But then
We made nut
That didn't make
butter.
any sense. And then, I don't know. I mean, Widow really took the easiest part. I mean, oh, be drunk. Okay, you're almost automatically funny.
Right, sure.
So that seemed like a bad idea.
Why?
Because if she's the strongest one, you want to give one of the other girls
strongest. Well, yeah, I think they definitely should have put Nikki in the drunk role because she could have been a drunk French person or whatever. Like,
I guess I did kind of like, I was hopeful. I really liked Nikki as like bitchy, pretty one, like foreign, like, oh, I am Chantal, I'm a foreign exchange scout, and and she's smoking or whatever,
right.
And she's a real slut, and she's just like, oh, you pitiful, Americans or whatever, like to be this like, but then she's in this like American program of scouting.
Of like the Squirrel Scouts, yeah, sure.
So I thought there could have been a lot there, actually, of this like bitchy, pretty, slutty French girl who's like for some reason hanging out with these two.
Sure.
But it didn't go anywhere, and I didn't know what Crystal was attempting. She was the smart one. Is that how they described her?
Was that what it was supposed to be?
I'm not sure.
Squirrel Scout A, the smart one.
Theirs was the one where I really lost the plot the most, and I don't know if that was because of the wine or what, but like I was just kind of like, what's going on?
I was more confused by the Fruity Patooties, but this was very confusing.
No, well, at least theirs was like a simple plot of like, oh, we're activists, but what was their motive? Well, we'll get there.
No, we'll get there. It was just as confusing, if not more. So they make nut butter, like that one line that Nikki, where she was like,
You make it? It is handshake and squeezed by myself.
Oh, I massage the nuts myself, or she says something like, whatever.
Right.
There was so many opportunities for her to be the slutty French girl or whatever, but anyway, it didn't matter. And they've got a squirrel for reasons that I'm not sure.
Oh, right, the rabbit attacking squirrel that was like Monty Python-esque, but then wasn't.
Right. I did love when Charo was like, it got on my tits.
It got my teeth.
Yes. I mean, again, Charo, best part of all of it.
Killing it. Next was the Fruity Patooties, who are LGBT activists who dress like giant fruit to spread the word of tolerance, but they're dressed like a slur.
Right. Yeah. Because like, fruity is basically, I mean, no one uses it anymore.
Later, when Michelle was like critiquing Dahlia, she was like, you see, because like fruity was like an old slur that people used to call gay people, but
the whole idea of the fruit thing is because you guys are gay, and that's an old school term. That's the joke.
Whenever you were a broccoli, it didn't work, and I was like,
well,
what?
You heard that. She didn't fucking decide to be a goddamn broccoli.
I kind of fucked myself over by choosing the fucking broccoli.
But also, like, what are we talking about? Broccoli isn't a fruit. So, what? What's happened?
Yeah.
Was the broccoli supposed to be not gay because it's not a fruit?
But they were all not gay.
Such a mess.
It was such a mess. Again, what was their motivation? If they were all lying to be gay activists in the Tutti Frutti bunch.
Because the show wasn't exclusively for like gay talent.
Right.
And I also didn't understand what their talent was. Was it jokes? Was it activism? Bad activism? Poor?
Bad jokes? Real stinkers? Let's get the poopery? I don't know.
I actually thought Rackham had some good lines when she was like,
how many doctors do I have to eat a day to keep you away?
And I thought Jan had a lot of energy and was like kind of talking too, but like I didn't really understand what was happening fundamentally.
Not at all. I will say that when Jada walked in, I thought it was Bianca Del Rio.
I'll be honest, I laughed at Dahlia, at her. It was really making me laugh that she was just this huge broccoli head with then the real hard nips out and this like southern drawl thing.
But like wispy, like
wispy.
Oh,
so
broccoli.
Steamed right now. I am a fierce brock ally. Like I was like, what's going on?
I'm your fully real-lasting vegetable broccoli.
She was like Blanche Dubois or something. I was like, what's going on?
It was weird.
I'm a fierce brock ally.
Keep your stem out of my face.
I've never been so steamed in my life.
she was so like delayed. Like someone would give her cue and she would be like, I am steamed.
Take your stem out of my face.
But then when she was like, again, so delayed and was like, oh, and like ran and charged her. And then Ross goes,
She broccoli speared her.
she's been broccoli speared.
Speared, which is, what is that?
Asparagus.
Asparagus spears. I didn't know what that meant and I was confused by it.
So then last was 3 Girls, 1 Brain. And I thought that this was fine.
I thought this was annoying.
It was annoying. It was at least more clear in its concept. They were putting on an act. It was like, oh, if we get 3 girls and we pretend like we all share a brain, then we can become the big vaudeville act or whatever, you know.
They were like trying to be the worst.
Well, right.
At that?
Met at a bus stop and
I found this to be annoying.
Yes.
But like not like I don't blame them. Like it wasn't bad. I just was like, I'm not finding this funny. I liked that they all looked like they came out of a John Waters movie.
Right.
Enjoyed that.
This one for me was also kind of the most like one note where it was just like, oh, I get it. That's the shtick. Now what?
Yeah, I mean, this was also, I felt like a really hard brief too, in that if you're improving, now you suddenly have to improv as a collective. That's a different challenge.
Right. They have to improv together and all be saying the same thing or follow a leader. Are they changing leaders or is one person deciding everything that's being said? If so, that seems like uneven. I
did really enjoy Charo once again. There once was a man from Mississippi.
Mississippi. Oh my God. Love her.
There once was a man from Mississippi. But then this went on forever and it was Humpty Dumpty.
there once was a guy from Mississippi who had a great fall.
Which didn't make any sense. Was that just because that's what the person who was leading it first came up with?
I think that they came up with, okay, we'll say, if you give us a word or a line, we'll turn it into a poem. And then they decided it beforehand, whatever they give us, we'll find a way to turn it into Humpty Dumpty, I think is what they, you know.
Yikes.
But I think too, this was probably edited really weird because of Sherry. We haven't really talked about how in this episode, Sherry has 0 confessionals and is the bare minimum. She's, you know, they give her the bare minimum of screen time.
We also haven't talked about how that's the version that we had.
That's true. There's a different version, right?
Yes, apparently the Netflix UK version was the original. I don't know if it's just episode 3.
Oh, okay.
Because I haven't heard about episode 4 and like the future. But my guess was that maybe Netflix already had the asset. You know, like they delivered episode 2 and 3 or whatever. And so then it never got changed. And so World of Wonder had this edited version where they're like, oh shit, we got to get her out of there, get her out as little as possible. So yeah.
I would be really interested in watching the other one to see how much they trimmed it, what they did to make it seem, because like, you know, by the end, Sherry is in the top and then she does win the episode. And the way that it's edited, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that would have been interesting to see if it had been how it was, if I would have felt differently about it, regardless of how I feel about her as a person.
Right, just from the editing and production perspective.
It would just be an interesting exercise.
Absolutely.
But I think this was probably edited weird because they had to like show Sherry excelling, but also not show her too much.
Right, because they couldn't show her not doing well and then win the challenge. Like that's fucking...
Talk about you literally can't cut around her. They're fucking 3 girls, 1 brain.
Like on Snatch Game, sure, you could show less of her and cut more to someone else or whatever, right?
Cut to Heidi.
Yeah, exactly. Cut to Heidi. Always cut to Heidi.
I've watched on TV for a long time.
To Slayana.
Yeah, Slayana, yes.
I think we're going to lose that battle, but I still love it.
I still love it. I did think it was funny when Ross is like, I'm going to slap one of you. And we get Aiden's like, you know, look. I did like that Sherry's like delayed, like, ow!
Oh!
I was really confused. So Sherry breaks character and says, I can't do this anymore. We're a fraud.
I can't do this anymore. I'm going back to James and the Peach.
I'm going to go back to James and the Peach.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I had no idea what that meant.
I mean, James and the Giant Peach, sure. Is that like copyrighted? But then why are you saying it? But what does that have to do with anything?
What does that have to do with anything, bitch?
But like, what does that have to do with 3 brains?
I think it was like, she's going to go back to doing regional theater was the joke. But I
really didn't get that.
I don't know. That was my best guess.
Yikes. It was weird either way. So quick commercial break and we will be back with the runway. Category is buttons and bows.
Something and la-di-la.
Oh yeah. Buttons and bows and things and
love.
Does bobados, things and buttons and bows.
Now, yes to that. Some Amy Sedaris realness. Just be like, ooh, buttons and bows. Oh.
Oh, I was doing Frasier, but yes to all of it.
Clubbing Pier, something la la la. Let's all go to a taco show.
On Frasier, there's an episode where he has to sing Buttons and Bows, but he doesn't know the lyrics.
Oh.
Francis, blow my nose. You like written buttons and bows.
Something and la la la. Buttons and bows.
Oh. And the one that I'm singing is just Amy Sedaris being weird.
Yep.
On At Home with Amy Sedaris.
Yep.
Beads and things and glitter and strings, glue and sew and buttons and bows.
Great.
So, Ru walks down the runway and oh my God, this like snake skin, bam bam, yes please, honestly. With the crimped hair and this, oh my
this
God,
wig,
I
I was obsessed with this wig.
Legs for days.
Yes.
It was very awesome. I loved this. I thought this was great.
I thought it was great. And I was obsessed with her hair.
It was like she was in a Whitesnake video, but also like on Kong Skull Island, and she'd been like surviving, you know,
for a while.
Whatever. I mean, she looked fabulous, but it was like, oh, and I made this outfit.
Yeah, I killed that anaconda.
I killed this anaconda and made this fucking outfit, and
this anaconda do want some.
And I am
this body yaddy yaddy. Yeah.
I'm King Kong's girlfriend. I'm, you know, hey. And this is when we get another yodeling thing. She's like,
from So You Think You Can Yodel, it's Ross Matthews.
Yodelay she-hoo.
There was so much yodeling.
There was so much yodeling.
In the past 2 episodes, it's been so much yodeling, and I don't understand. It's so weird.
Very bizarre.
It's just so weird that the first episode you're like, Yoda lady who? And then it's showed up in every episode since.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh my God, he's like Nostradamus.
And Olivia Munn is there, who I love.
Yes, love her. It was weird to me that it was just Olivia Munn, but last week was Tandy Newton and Robin.
It's because they had Ross and Carson.
Oh.
This week, down the runway.
Yes, category is buttons and bows.
Beads and things and glitter and strings, glue and sew and buttons and bows.
But some people just did buttons and some people just did bows.
That is true.
It's fine. I'm okay with it.
Doesn't matter. I mean, whatever. Buttons or bows and or.
Buttons and or bows.
So first up is Jada, and I liked this. She has like bow shoulders and arms.
It was like ombre bow blazer.
Yeah. I didn't care for the Teletubby button patch.
I didn't love this. It was Barbie. The wig was huge. Like the proportions seemed weird with the big shoulders, but then there wasn't. The skirt was too long for how it wasn't bad, but I just did not love it.
No, it didn't fire on all cylinders.
She didn't tell me a story. I didn't get inspired by it. A lot of people went pink Barbie, and I was confused by that.
By buttons and bows? I mean, yeah, sure, I guess.
That's where I go. But there's a lot of people went pink satin Barbie, and I was like,
right,
okay.
Right.
So then next down the runway, Dahlia Sin in I did not like this.
I did not care for this at all.
The more I looked at the headpiece in Untucked, I liked it more, the headpiece. specifically. Like the fact that it had corseted ribbon in the back, like a little Mexican wrestling masks, you know, where it has like the lacing.
Sure.
And then like the details in the headpiece, it didn't look as bad in Untucked. That's all I'll say.
Fair.
But I did not like this outfit at all.
No, the whole outfit for me was a no and a bit of a mess.
Asymmetrical in a sloppy way, where we'll get to Nikki's was asymmetrical in perfection.
Yes.
But this like tight satin-y.
Tight satin?
Tight satin, but then also
no
like,
human being should wear tight satin.
Tight satin? No human being should wear tight satin.
or like ass cheek was out, but then it was
and the flopsy bunny ear and it just looked confused and muddled, and the color was muted. It was like that mauve-y, like whatever, and I just
definitely looked better in the Untucked lighting, and then when she gets kicked off later, spoiler alert, like the wig, I was like, oh, I get it. But on the runway, it did not read at all.
It didn't really work for me, no.
Yeah. But the wig was totally giving me, remember Gary Oldman's assistant in Fifth Element who's like doing her nails?
Yes.
That was the wig. I mean, hers was more blue, but.
Next up was Rockham, and I thought this was actually really cute. You know, she does this like Alice in Wonderland, but with the crazy long Rapunzel hair. I don't know why she didn't just do Rapunzel.
Well, no, I did love her explanation though. She's like, it's Alice in Wonderland. She went on birth control hormones.
Prenatal vitamins.
Prenatal vitamins, and her hair grew super long. She didn't know what to do, so she put a bunch of bows in it. I was just like, yes.
Sure. I mean, I when she said that, I was like, I see it. Yes.
This made me laugh. It was funny. It was different. It was memorable. I wouldn't say it was my favorite thing ever, but like it made me laugh. It made me smile.
Yes, I agree.
So the next down the runway is very good jam.
Oh, it's very good jam. I loved this.
I was obsessed with this. This burlap, voodoo, doll, oogie boogie.
It was very oogie boogie man, but like fashion.
It was like a gown, but then it tore away into a jumpsuit, and the huge fucking bow on her head with those oversized pins, and the makeup was really good. Oh my God, I was obsessed with this.
Yeah, fucking loved it.
Fucking loved it.
I thought this for me was actually the best look of the night.
Yeah.
And the most successful in telling a story and being polished and being fashionable.
Yeah, I thought this was amazing.
So then next was Heidi in Closet. Heidi Ho, Heidi Slay on All Day.
Let's play on all day.
And I thought this was fun, though not as perfectly polished. She had this like, Pinocchio.
I mean, that really set me over the edge. Like I was like, oh, you just said Pinocchio? I love you.
My runway is very Pinocchio.
I mean, yes.
I think this had enough little things. It was not, no, it was not the best. But the fact that she has like the button flap in the back, so that was the buttons, but then she also has the giant bow, and this story that connects to her past of how, they thought she was a girl because her hair was so long, but I'm a real boy. That whole story was so
right. It was really cute.
I thought her makeup looked better than it had.
Yes.
This was, for me, right on the edge of not being good enough, but it put me over the edge because her fucking personality is so great.
I agree. She really sold it, and there were enough things there to make it work.
So then next on the runway, oh my God, Gigi Good in this orange button, and Margaret, Viva Las Vegas fantasy. Oh, I was obsessed with this. There were no bows.
Sure.
But I was obsessed.
Gigi Good doesn't do bows.
She's got a long list of the things that she doesn't do.
Like if this is Doubtfire, I don't do dishes. I don't do this.
I don't do laundry. I don't do windows. I don't do carpets. I don't do bathtubs. I don't do toilets, and I don't do diapers.
Well, my children have been potty trained for quite some time.
I was obsessed with this. She's got all of this like vintage luggage that's also buttoned.
Covered in buttons.
The fucking sunglasses had buttons on them. These thigh-high boots were buttoned. Oh, it was so good. I was obsessed with this.
Obsessed. It was pretty fabulous. The only thing I didn't really love was the orange wig.
I don't know.
I got it.
I got it. I got it.
Well, I got it.
But I think with like a dark raven, even the Betty Page wig she had worn at the beginning of the episode when they came in, maybe would have been better.
I just like the orange was so cheap looking because obviously like no one has hair like that. And it was so matchy. And I'm like, if she had given me more of a persona, like, yes, like who is this woman and why is she wearing this button dress? I want to know.
It was almost like Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, like with this attitude and the traveling of it all. Like, it felt like she was on a road trip where murder was gonna
cleavage,
happen.
but yes.
She was just gonna, you know, like take a dip in the river and get in a fight with somebody.
Oh, this is a cat!
So then next was Jackie Cox, and she had this pearly outfit, which now we know after our Mary Poppins review. I know that silhouette anywhere.
Silhouette?
I know that silhouette anywhere. Mary Poppins.
The pearlies, I thought the fabric on this made it look cheap.
This, to me, was the definition of a costume.
Yes.
It was very good. She looked great. She knows her history. Like, she was like, oh, I picked this specifically because the pearlies, and it was a way to, like, she had a whole explanation. I was like, love it. I get it. But she didn't do anything different with it. This didn't excite me in any way.
And it wasn't even like if she had done, you know, in Mary Poppins where it's like the animated, right?
Black and white color.
Yeah. Where the big white buttons and stuff. And like really, if she'd gone more expressionistic with it rather than just like a literal, like, here's this outfit and here's these pearly white, you know, buttons.
Yeah. If she had made herself into a cartoon.
I mean, I would have fucking loved that.
Yeah, that would have been great. That would have been a little bit of a twist on it. You're telling me something instead of just, I'm wearing this historical reference.
Right.
That's sort of where I'm landing with Jackie. This was even more so than her 60s looks the other week.
Right. These were like a historical reference, but where the fabric didn't seem historical, right? The 60s, it seemed like, oh shit, that could have been vintage. Like, you know,
yeah, definitely. Like, it looks like, you know, if you're wearing this to do your supercalifragilistic number, sure. But on a runway, you know, it's not, ooh.
Right, it's not like, ooh, RuPaul's Drag Race runway. Not really.
So then next up was Widow Von Du in this abstract clown. I liked this. It was really clown. You're a clown, you clown.
I really liked from the big bow up.
Yeah, I mean, I thought having the suit be sort of muted and fade away highlighted the face even more.
Yeah.
But this giant bow with these really colorful buttons on the dark fabric really popped, and she's got a dunce cap that matches. I mean, I love that she just had a mustache as her eyebrows. Did you notice?
No.
Oh my God, it was amazing!
How did I miss that?
It was like fully connected, and then it was like a little curly mustache. Like she didn't wear a wig. She just had a mustache on her forehead.
Love it. So then next was Crystal Method, and I was so bummed and disappointed by this. This really talked about looking cheap. Like, it just seemed like she tossed some weird kind of Bowie fabric stuff on her. And
well, I am the opposite of Ross. I hate red and pink together.
Right.
I do not care for it. I think it clashes and looks bad, particularly in satin, which is shiny. I thought this was such a disappointment. She kind of looks like a present, but not really in an interesting way.
No.
It was very monochromatic, like the hair and the bow all kind of blended together. And I was like bummed because I was like so excited to see what she was like, what Crystal was going to do with buttons and bows.
Buttons and bows, right? Yeah. And this was the opposite of what I was wanting. And it was weird to me, like the judges read her so much for her makeup and repeating the same look. And yet I would have read her for this look.
For the outfit, yeah. I just think a better way to come at it from Michelle's perspective would be, instead of saying, you're hiding behind this mask, who are you really? I don't like your makeup, which is essentially saying, like, I don't like your face, I don't like your drag. Say, you know, I think you could do less severe makeup in the challenges so we can see your different skills, but then on the runway, obviously show us who you are with this fabulous craziness. You know, that's like a more constructive way to come at it.
I agree.
Because I was like, yeah, I mean, her makeup in the Squirrel Scout thing is distracting because you're like, who's this crazy bitch? Is she have some kind of like body dysmorphia where she's like, I have to be pretty, I have to wear all the makeup, you know, and because she got abandoned, and is that a thing that she's talking about? No, we don't know, but it makes you think about it because you're like, what is this?
Right.
Next up, Nikki Doll. Oh my God. Oh my God. Perfection.
The fucking bow wig hat thing.
The buttoned fascinator, the Cinderella abstract couturier fantasy. I mean, this is what I wanted out of, remember Valentina's like, deconstructed weird drag?
Yes.
Which I still liked, but this is like what she was going for. We were like, oh, okay, you like did it.
Putting it all together. We're gonna, in the midst of creating an outfit. And I just love this whole story where she's so silly. Oh, it's Cinderella and she's in her little atelier and she's getting ready for the ball and she's got a little mice.
Oversized needle with the oversized measuring tape and the huge bow, but then we've got this button and this little mouse. I mean, come on. Oh, now if the mouse had the little Gus hat on. I mean,
oh my God.
Oh my God, forget it. I loved this, and this was such a more interesting take, basically, than anybody else.
Yeah, I would say
this fulfilled buttons and bows, was interesting, wasn't the same, it was different than everyone else's, like, was fashion.
It was perfectly finished. It told me a story.
Her face.
Oh my God. She looked like Charlize Theron.
Ooh, yes.
Especially in the lip sync.
Can you imagine? I want Charlize to wear this on a red carpet.
But like, yes.
Uh-huh.
So then next is Aiden Zane, and I was disappointed in this.
Yeah, I really liked the bald cap barrette bow.
With the bows. Yeah.
I enjoyed that same wig, but maybe if she'd built on that and done like an Esther Williams thing or something.
Bows or something.
I don't know, but this was just sort of a sweater dress with some bows on it. There was so few of them, maybe a few more. It needed something. I liked the hair, but that was about it.
I liked the back of the hair. Like, I liked the
because the whole wig was, it looked like a bald cap.
Bows. Yeah.
Barretted bows, and I enjoyed that. I did like that she brought up Lisa Frank, though. Frank Lisa.
So weird, Lisa Spank. But yet she didn't look like Lisa Frank at all to me.
That pink is very Lisa, like that pink is Lisa Frank. And like the overdoing it of bows. But I agree with you. It wasn't great. So then next up is Brita. No filter.
No filter.
I didn't really like this either. Like pink, Barbie, satin. I don't know. Everyone went for the same kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, I guess, sure. By the time we got to Brita, it was like, oh, okay. So there's like a row of oversized buttons that are in the middle, like a cutout, which made the hem weird and cut her off at the wrong part of her knee.
Yes.
I was uninspired by a lot of these looks, but then like blown away by some other ones.
By a few. A few people really killed it, and then others I was like, meh.
Yeah.
This was a meh.
Yeah. I did love that she mentioned Polly Pocket, though. I was like, yeah. Here
Polly Pocket.
This was pretty busy. There was like lots of bows and rows, and the shoes were chunky with bows or buttons. There was stuff on them.
The shoes were so weird.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on there?
A little too much of everything.
Yes. So then last was Sherry Pie. And, in response to the feedback that we've gotten, it's very fair point. There's a lot of designers and people that worked hard on helping her get to the show and prepare for the show and create these looks. It's not like she did it all herself. There are a lot of talented people that unfortunately are, if we ignore it all, get left, to the wayside. To honor that, we will talk at least when there's highlights, especially like this week she won, so we kind of have to talk about it.
Right.
I did like this outfit, although it was creepy.
I mean, it really freaked me out. I liked it. I think the boots put it over the edge, muddied it a little bit. I would have preferred, because she was going for creepy little doll girl, even just like white tights or something.
Sure.
With like
right, because that makes it a little bit more girly.
Yeah, with just like one of those black penny loafers or something like that. You know what I mean?
For me, I thought that Jan's outfit did a much better job of really killing the like voodoo-y, like creepy doll vibes.
Jan was much more voodoo doll, and this was more possessed doll.
Very that. I guess I preferred voodoo doll.
Sure. I really loved the oversized button John Lennon sunglasses.
Yes.
This was very impactful. The color, like the size of it all, the scale of everything was huge. She's got a doll, she's got the giant pin. The contact lenses were freaking me out. Yep. So like, yes, this was like, whoa, look at this look. Yeah.
I certainly got a reaction.
Yes, absolutely. It's hard to tell, again, whether or not we would feel this way if we didn't know, or if we did know, or if they'd edited it left it how
Right.
it was edited or changed it. It's like a weird place to be reviewing. But yes, this was impactful. I guess I see why she won the episode, even though I think I might have given it to Heidi.
Wow.
She was so fun.
I think I would give it to like Gigi.
What?
I like their team's the best.
I think they should have judged it by teams.
Yeah, because like if you were to do teams like that, right, and the Rio Trio wins, then of those three, I think that Gigi did just as well as the other two. Like I think they all performed pretty well. I mean, Heidi definitely stole it. Heidi definitely was like the most entertaining.
Gigi did very well, but she didn't have to say anything. You know what I mean? So there was different varying degrees of whatever. But I
she
thought
still made it work, and her runway was so good. That's why I would give her the win.
Every single thing that came out of Heidi's mouth this week was hilarious. So
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Oh, what's that?
oh my God, I did love that when they were judging them all, Ru was talking to Dahlia and she's like, you know, you kept looking away from the camera and blocking yourself and not showing up. But then during the lip sync, she was like, I'm going to stare right down the barrel of the camera. I was like, ah! So Sherry wins and Dahlia and Nikki Doll are in the bottom. I think, honestly, Crystal's mullet kept her out of the bottom.
Dahlia and Nikki are in the bottom and they have to lip sync to Ariana Grande's Problem.
Don't fuck it up.
I will say, I think that this is official and there should be no more Ariana Grande lip syncs. It doesn't seem to go well. This was not a good lip sync. Like,
no.
I thought that Nikki served a few things and I thought she looked gorgeous and she definitely, for me, won it. But I was not particularly impressed by either. I also don't think that the song lent itself that well to a lip sync.
I agree, but I think somebody could turn this out. It seemed like the first half, they both seemed like, oh no, I don't want to ruin this outfit. I can't really move. Like they both were like, anyway, boob. And then they both took off their awkward headpieces and were like, now I can dance. Not really. And so that was weird. And then I thought Nikki gave a few like, oh bitch, yes. That face.
Yeah.
Yes. And Dahlia, you know, they both do the words pretty good. Like for me, it was pretty even. Nikki won her out. Like she overtook her. But at the end of it, I was like, Shantae, we both go away?
Right. Double elimination.
I'm glad it wasn't because I do really like Nikki and I want to see more from her. But I was like, we've already wasted 2 weeks and haven't sent anyone home. Maybe.
I was almost there. But again, I do also really like Nikki and I would like to see more from her because I think that she can turn it out.
Yeah, and I hope this lights a fire on her ass. And she did win, but just not by that great of a margin.
Absolutely. I agree. So Nikki does win and we have to talk about this. So, I mean, Dahlia is just like, okay, bye. She says that she just storms off. She's over it.
She was not expecting to go home first. And I think to us, it was like, oh yeah, she's first, even though it's the third episode.
It didn't feel like the first elimination to me.
Yeah, she storms off and then immediately is like, oh, I wish I hadn't stormed off. And then I thought they were going to let her come back to be like.
And give like I think it took her too long to say, I wish I hadn't stormed off. Ru wasn't fucking sitting there waiting. She's like, okay, let the music play. I'm over this. Bye.
But then this week on Untucked, there was like a close-up of a sign. You know, they have like weird props back there that sometimes have to do with some things and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, it's like, oh, maybe that'll show up in a week or two.
Right. There was a sign that says, be draggressive.
Oh no, if they're doing a cheer challenge, I'm going to fucking lose it. They
like,
learned their lesson.
It sounded like you said, they learned their lesson.
They learned their lesson. Lorne Michaels said, no, ma'am. I don't know. No, but like, I mean, if they dare do a cheer challenge and don't bring back James Mansfield, then
rude.
It
was just such a weird portmanteau that just doesn't want to come out of my mouth.
Draggressive. No, it's bad. I mean, it's like a legendary. It's like, no, that doesn't work.
But also, what does that mean? We're being aggressive?
Aggressively drag-y, I guess.
So yeah, Untucked was pretty boring. They all sit around and talk about how they're really impressed with Heidi for a while, which, I mean, I am too. It's great, but, you know, boring. And I did love Jan's joke.
So now that we're all Christian mingling.
Loving Jan. I'm loving Jan.
Loving Jan. I don't know. I mean, I guess because it's more or less in the first episode or second, right? It needs to like gel some more.
Unfortunately, I mean, we did call Dahlia going home, but unfortunately she was kind of the bitch. And I was like, oh, she was going to be the one that was going to like
instigate, right? It's like Aja, we needed her to at least have her. She's perfect. She's beautiful. She looks like Linda Evangelista. She's a model moment.
She's in pink. She's in red. She looks like a clown. She's Crystal. I hate her. And I love that Gigi like couldn't move and she could only be a mannequin and she couldn't lift her
Oh my
arm
God,
up.
right? Because all of her fucking buttons.
I wanted her to get like 5 straws and be like,
What was those stupid glasses and the straws from Club 96?
Club 96.
Right?
No, that was a
Who did
long,
that?
she could have drunk out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then the top and bottom queens come back. Dahlia's not having it. She's fucking pissed.
Right.
And did you notice that they really mic'd and or added in post her Dahlia's sips?
Oh, I didn't.
It was very like every time. It was really cracking up. It may have even been the exact same sound. It was really making me laugh. It happened at least 3 times. But she's pissed because everyone's, you know, kumbayaing around Crystal, and you know, she basically just didn't think she should be in the bottom and was mad. And
yeah, I mean, sure.
It just wasn't that exciting.
No, it wasn't. Especially because it was like, I wasn't like, oh yeah, girl, you were really robbed. It was like, well, you're definitely in the bottom.
I'm so steamed. It really got me. I don't know, like late after the fact, I'm watching it again. I was like, I'm a fierce Brock ally. Just the pausing and like the real weird like delay. It was good. I mean, it was bad, but it was good.
Was there like an Aaron Brockovich joke there?
I think it's too long of a walk.
Okay.
I don't know why broccoli.
I don't know.
I just don't get it because, okay, in their minds, they are straight men that have decided to go on the world's worst talent show to be LGBT activists dressed as giant fruit and veg.
Called the Fruity Patootie.
Because it's not like they're actual fruits, like literal, right?
Right.
And they're like, how could you let broccoli in? She's a vegetable.
Well, we are on the side of acceptance and...
We're a fruit-only group.
Right, no.
That wasn't the case.
It was really weird and it didn't make any sense. That's the only answer, is that it didn't make sense and it was poorly thought out and no one did a good job, including the producers.
I am going to really always enjoy the visual of like real pointy nipples, broccoli-headed, confused, buffering Dahlia. So steamed. It really got me. It's just very bad. Get your stem away from my face.
It might be one of those like lives on in infamy forever moments.
Honestly, it could be the next Opulence. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, they didn't give her that edit. They really could have given her that edit and been like, you were so bad, but we loved it.
Right. But no.
Anyway, Dahlia goes home and packs up her stuff, and it was boring. Again, there's just so much of Untucked that is filler.
Yeah.
Like the first 3 minutes are all like a recap of what already happened. And then like the last 5 are like, oh, and then they lip sync and she went home and you're like, I just watched that. And then, you know.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to be exciting and fun and campy and silly. I know we sound like a broken record, but it would be so much easier if they just gave them activities to do. If they were just like, oh great, here's your pink furry box. You know, even if there's only one room, whatever. If they give them a pink furry box, then at least there's something for them to do. They just need to be a little bit more produced of like, here's the activity that you guys are going to do that's going to keep it fun and create conflict and drama and whatever.
It's like Untucked is underproduced and the show is overproduced.
They need to like find a happy medium.
I like Dahlia well enough, but it was clear to me she was going to go home early. She seems fun and silly and a bitch.
Yeah.
But also like, you know, fun.
She did seem kind of fun. So we'll see, you know, maybe in like the Redemption first eliminated season, she'll have a good run. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
I'm excited for the future, and hopefully this worked out okay and wasn't too glitchy weird.
We tried our best.
We certainly tried, and we will continue to try and adjust and learn and grow and drink more wine because it's weird times. Trywink.com.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink.